It's wonderful, the way I've kept my looks. Of course, one isn't what one was at 18, that would be absurd. But I suppose I can fairly claim to be still a beautiful woman at 60. Well, 60. Funny how I always think of myself as being only 60. I'm certain nobody guesses I'm more. Though perhaps they don't really think about it at all? Perhaps they only think about the other people, the young ones? I don't believe it. Stephen used to say, "You'll always be interesting to your contemporaries." I think he was quite right. Poor Stephen. 1906, 33 years since he died. It really seems quite impossible. Although look at all the things that have happened, the children growing up and getting married, and having children of their own, poor Gwen losing that dear little baby, and of course the war, and Dora Ford having to sell Cat Horn. Not that I really minded that frightfully. It never felt like home to me. Not as much as Belgrave Square. Even now, I'm glad Dory and Veronica settled to live there. If only they had more money, poor sweets. Really, Veronica might be much worse. I always felt sure I'd hate Dome's wife, but one can't hate her. She's too colorless. I wonder if she's sometimes a tiny bit jealous of me? After all, it's absurd that at my age I should attract more attention than she does. It's personality. It can't be anything else, of course. One has white hair. Thank God it's still thick, and lines. They always say lines give character to a face, and one can't wear the pretty bright colors anymore. Though black suits me. As for my figure, I can honestly say it's marvelous. Why, I'm slimmer than Gwen, I do believe. If I hadn't taken myself in hand though, years ago, I shouldn't be. God, what time does to one? To think of oneself at 16, all that bright brown hair, and the marvelous color one had after writing, no question about makeup then. And when did it all change? Nobody knows. So gradually, I suppose, that one couldn't see it coming. Was there ever a day when I suddenly realized that I was middle-aged growing elderly? When I knew I was a grandmother, perhaps? Only one didn't think of it like that. Only that poor Dory was frightfully disappointed because it wasn't a boy. Gwen's first one was a boy quite soon after Dory's too, which made it so annoying, and by the time Veronica had pulled herself together and managed a son, one really didn't think of anything except what a mercy it was that there'd be someone to carry on the title. Besides, what's the use of pretending? I've always looked 20 years younger than my real age. It's in our family. Mama was exactly the same. And when I was 17, good heavens, I used to tell people I was 20 and hope they'd believe me, because I wanted to look older. How furious it used to make Mama. One remembers. The primroses in the park at Branchley, poor old Branchley, and old Madge at the lodge. Ah, you're a pair of grand young ladies. Every time we met her, and lessons with Mademoiselle, and poor dear Violet crying over her arithmetic every single day of her life. Mais dépêchez-vous donc, Violet. Voyons, Isabelle déjà fini. Of course, I was far cleverer than poor darling Violet, which wasn't at all fair, as I was so much prettier as well. Sometimes I think that if only one had been properly educated in those days, I might have done something quite brilliant, perhaps written plays or something. I don't remember ever finding my lessons difficult at all, and of course my memory was marvelous. It still is for that matter. I always say I only had to read a thing through once, as a girl, and I knew it forever afterwards. Citate pendant el horreur d'une profonde nuit mamire, Jezebel, devant moi est montré. I can still say the whole of that, still, after how many years? And other things too. Why, I can remember the old, absurd, sentimental songs Mama used to sing in the yellow drawing room at Branchley in the evenings, words and all. There must be very few young persons who have a memory like mine. When that goes, if it ever does, I shall know I really am growing old. Mamire, Jezebel, devant moi est montré, comme au jour de essai mort pompeusement Paris el portrait meme encore si t'éclat empreinte. Oh, come in, Mason. Mason, I shall want you to pack my things tomorrow for Branchley. I don't mean Branchley. What on earth made me say that? Poor old Branchley. It was pulled down after the war. I don't mean Branchley. What do I mean? I mean in Verdriery, of course. Fancy, Mason, before you came in I was thinking of my old home, before I married, I mean, and the time when I was a girl in the schoolroom and had a French governess who made us learn poetry by heart. And I believe I can still repeat every word I learned then. Rather extraordinary, isn't it? I don't think, as long as my memory remains what it is, that I need worry very much about growing older, do you? All right, Madge, Mason, I mean, that'll do. Just give me my opal bracelet and the little handkerchief. And don't forget, we go to Branchley tomorrow.